coming through is, I am not okay. This person is finally seeing that they were the one who damaged this relationship. I feel like for a long time they tried to blame timing or distance or pressure or anything except their own choices. But now something is cracking open in them. And I feel like they can no longer hide from what they did here. Please just take what resonates for you. Since this is a general love reading, you do not have to force anything that does not feel right for your situation. And you can reverse the roles if you need to. Just place yourself where the energy lands most naturally for you. All right, so let us begin with you first. Let us look at where you are in this connection right now. Here is Judgment. And the Nine of Wands and the Three of Swords, this comes through strongly. With Judgment, I feel like your heart has been waking up to the truth. You may have already known on some level that they were running from themselves. With the Nine of Wands, I feel like you are still defended. You have learned to watch carefully and not open too quickly anymore. And with the Three of Swords, I feel like the wound here was real. This was not a tiny misunderstanding that your heart could just brush away. For some of you, this person caused direct pain. For others, they reopened pain you were already carrying from the past. So I feel like part of you still wants honesty, but another part of you has become very careful about what honesty might cost. You may still feel the connection, but I also feel you are no longer willing to carry the emotional weight. All right, so let us look at your person now. Let us see where they are in this connection with you. We have the Hierophant and the Two of Wands and the Page of Wands. This person is thinking now. With the Hierophant, I feel like they are finally seeing the bigger lesson. They are realizing this bond was not casual and it required more maturity than they gave. With the Two of Wands, I feel like they keep looking back and forward at the same time. They are thinking about what happened and also thinking about whether they can still approach. They are asking themselves what they should say, how they should say it, and whether there is any way to repair what they broke. And then here is the Page of Wands. So yes, there is an urge in them to contact you, but this does not feel playful to me. It feels like someone trying to gather the nerve to open a painful conversation. So let us look at the shared energy between you, because I can already feel this is not a dead connection. Here is the High Priestess and the Five of Wands and the King of Pentacles. Wow, this is deep and conflicted. With the High Priestess, I feel like so much was sensed here without being spoken. There was always more happening under the surface than what was shown out loud. With the Five of Wands, I feel inward struggle on both sides. There is emotional static here, mental pressure, and unresolved tension. And with the King of Pentacles, I feel the deeper need beneath it all. Both of you wanted steadiness, loyalty, and something emotionally dependable. That is why this hurts so much, because the connection carried real value, and it was mishandled. Let us get a little more on your side here, because I feel your heart is trying to decide what is still safe. And wow, here is trust. So I feel Spirit is saying trust what your intuition has already told you. You may have sensed for a while that this person was not truly okay. You may have felt that their silence was not peace but avoidance. But this card also says trust yourself. Trust that you can hear the truth now without abandoning yourself. For them, here is friendship, and I love that because it tells me they miss more than romance. They miss your voice, your presence, your steadiness. They miss the way your energy grounded something inside them. For both of you, here is it is safe for you to love. Wow, so even with all this pain, tenderness still exists here. That is part of why this feels so heavy, because the love did not disappear just because things went wrong. This reading feels like someone reaching a point of self-awareness. They are finally seeing that the collapse did not come only from circumstances. It came from the way they handled pressure, the way they shut down, the way they acted from fear instead of honesty. And I feel that realization is hitting hard because once a person sees their own hand in the damage, they cannot unsee it. This is not a comfortable truth for them. This is the kind of truth that follows them into quiet hours. And I feel they are not okay because of that. They are sitting with what they did, and it is weighing on them now, heavily now. Let us go deeper on your side first, because I feel your heart has been holding a lot in silence. Here's despondence and hesitation. I feel weariness has moved through your emotional world. There may have been times where you told yourself to stop expecting, or at least to stop imagining that this person would ever admit the truth. I feel like you tried to calm your own mind. But some part of you never truly believed this story was finished. For some of you, there is a specific memory that still lingers, a conversation, a pause, a look, a moment that never fully resolved. So yes, there is caution in you, but there is also a deep inner knowing that something remained unsettled. Let us get more for them now, because I feel their side is full of emotional pressure. Here is growth and impasse. They have not stayed where they were inside. Their awareness has grown, and the longer they sat in silence, the worse it became. With impasse, I feel they reached a place where they froze. They did not know how to move forward without facing themselves. And the longer they stayed frozen, the more everything inside backed up. Because quiet did not erase the issue, it made it louder. For both of you, here is crossroads. So yes, there is a decision point hanging over this connection. The energy does not feel empty. It feels stalled between fear, truth, and the need for closure or repair. Let us get some hidden message cards now, because I want to hear what has been living underneath all this. For you, here is, I know I messed up everything. Some of you still carry regret on your side too. Maybe you wish you had spoken sooner. Maybe you wish you had not stepped back when things turned painful. For them, here is, I bury myself in work to forget you. Yes, I feel they have tried to distract themselves. They may have used routines, obligations, and nonstop tasks to keep from feeling the full weight of what they lost here, but I do not feel that has worked, because your energy keeps finding them anyway. For both of you, here is, I cannot stop thinking about you. Wow, so the mental tie here is still very active. Replayed scenes, unfinished replies, imagined talks. What if thoughts? If only thoughts. And let me get one more card here, because I feel there is still warmth underneath all the strain. Wow, here's playfulness. So this bond was not made only of pain and confusion. There was lightness here, teasing here, warmth here, a sense of ease that made being together feel natural. And I feel that sharpens the ache for them, because they know they sabotaged something that had real sweetness in it. All right, so let us look at what you are thinking about them now. What has really been moving through your mind in this connection? Here is the Magician, and the Ten of Cups reversed, and the Three of Pentacles. I feel you have been very measured. With the Magician, I feel you are carefully managing what you show. You may be far more aware of your reactions than they would ever guess. With the Ten of Cups reversed, I feel caution around hope. You do not want to promise your heart a happy ending without evidence. And with the Three of Pentacles, I feel your mind wants mutual effort. Not only feelings, not only tension, but something built together, honestly. So your thoughts may be saying, yes, the bond was real. But if it still matters, then let it become something tangible and accountable. All right, so let us look at what they are thinking about you. Here's the Emperor and the Two of Cups and the Knight of Wands. Wow. So even if they try to stay controlled, this person thinks about you in a way that is far from casual. With the Emperor, I feel they are trying to hold themselves together. They do not like feeling emotionally exposed or visibly shaken, but with the Two of Cups beside it, I feel they keep thinking about the bond itself, what it meant, what they did to it, and whether any part of it could still be reached again. And then with the Knight of Wands, I feel a strong urge in them to do something. They want movement, they want approach. They want to break the pattern of avoidance between you. Let us clarify the Emperor, and wow, here's the Sun and the Nine of Cups. So yes, I feel they still see you as someone who brings light. Your presence still warms something in their inner world. The Sun tells me they think of you as bright and restorative. The Nine of Cups tells me your energy still feels precious to them, not only physically, emotionally, mentally, in that private inward way. And I feel this is part of why the concealment hurts them, because they are not hiding a small feeling. They are hiding something vivid. They know every day they keep it buried. The truth presses harder against whatever walls they made. And I keep hearing that they do not know how much longer they can keep holding this without finally speaking. It is wearing them down now. All right, so let us look at what you are feeling overall, because I feel your emotional space is deeper than you show. Here is the Page of Cups reversed, and the Six of Wands and the Unknown card. Wow, with the Page of Cups reversed, I feel tenderness is present, but it is sheltered, withheld, and not easily offered first. You may feel far more than you reveal, but you do not want to expose that without clear honesty from them. With the Six of Wands, I feel this person still affects your confidence. Their notice matters, their attention matters, their response matters. There is something about the way they once saw you, or maybe still see you, that lingers inside you. And then with the unknown card, I feel your emotions here are layered, not simple, not tidy, and not easy even for you to summarize neatly. Part of you may want plain truth, and another part of you may fear what plain truth would awaken. So let us clarify this Page of Cups reversed. And wow, here is Judgment. And the King of Wands, so I feel you've been trying to stand firmly in your dignity, trying not to let your most delicate feelings run the whole story, but your deeper truth has not vanished, and your heart still knows this connection mattered in a real way. All right, so let us look at what they are feeling overall, because I feel their inner world has been much louder than their actions. Here is the Magician and the Six of Swords and the Moon. This is very deep. With the Magician, I feel they have been trying to manage themselves. They may be choosing every pause and every word with great care. With the Six of Swords, I feel they have tried to calm the current, to create inner distance from what they feel around you. But then here's the Moon, and that is why this has not been simple for them at all. Their feelings are not neat. There is grief here, yearning here, fear here, attachment here. There is also a strong intuitive tie, like your energy keeps returning even when they try to look away. For some of you, this person has had sudden memories come over them, or random moments where your face and voice hit them unexpectedly. All right, so let us look at your intentions now. What is your heart genuinely trying to do with this connection? Here is the Queen of Cups and the Star and the Seven of Cups. Your intentions are sincere. With the Queen of Cups, I feel you still care in a real way, even if you have kept more of yourself hidden lately. With the Star, I feel there is still hope in you. Hope for repair, hope for truth, hope for something cleaner than before. And then with the Seven of Cups, there are still many unknowns. You may not know what they are truly ready to admit or reveal. So I feel your intention is not to force this. It is more to stay genuine and let reality show itself clearly. All right, so what are their intentions toward you right now? Let us see what this person is actually leaning toward. Here is the Two of Wands and the Nine of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Still careful. With the Two of Wands, I feel they are considering their next move. They are thinking about timing, response, and possible fallout. With the Nine of Wands, I feel their defenses are still active. They do not want to feel foolish, rejected, or completely exposed. And with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, I feel the delay itself has started to frustrate them badly. They may know they have been moving too slowly, or hiding too long from what they need to tell you. Let us clarify that, and wow, here is the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Cups. So yes, I do feel movement wants to break through. This person may act more suddenly than you expect. The Knight of Swords feels like a rush building and need to finally speak after too much internal pressure. And the Ace of Cups tells me the push is not empty. There is real emotion behind it, real softness behind it. So if you have felt their energy building lately, I do not think you are imagining that. Let us get a few more emotional cards around this. For you, we have longing for them. We have remorse. And for both of you, we have unfinished wow. That says a lot all by itself. Your longing feels quiet, but real. Their remorse feels constant and consuming. And this unfinished energy is exactly why the silence feels alive, because something still wants to be brought into the light. Something still wants a chance to be corrected. Something still wants to be spoken instead of buried. I keep getting that their heart is tired of concealment. And concealment is starting to feel heavier than confession. The hardest part for them now feels like the beginning, the first truth, the first opening, the first admission. But once that first admission comes, I feel much more would pour out right behind it. It feels like the dam is cracking now, and they know it, even if they do not say it yet. The pressure is building, and the truth wants daylight. Let us look now at what has really been blocking this person, because I feel understanding that will explain so much. Here is Strength and the Two of Swords. Wow. So this feels like someone divided inside themselves. With Strength, I feel they've been trying to contain everything, their impulses, their guilt, their wish to come clean, not because nothing is there, but because too much is there, and it leaves them feeling exposed. With the Two of Swords, I feel they have been split in 21 side wants honesty. Another side fears the aftermath. They may have wondered if telling you would ruin everything, or if staying silent had already done even more damage. So I feel like this person has not been lacking feeling. They have been lacking courage and inner steadiness. Let us get another card for their block. And wow, here's the root chakra. Yes, this goes deeper. Fear, insecurity, practical strain, and the need to feel safe before taking emotional risks. For some of you, this person has been under pressure, money pressure, work pressure, family pressure, life pressure, and when someone already feels stretched in the material world, even a necessary conversation can feel impossible to begin. So I feel like they kept postponing this, telling themselves they would deal with it later, later when life softened, later when they felt clearer, later when the timing looked better. But the truth is, the feeling kept staying, and the hiding itself has started hurting them more than honesty. All right, so let us look at the near future now. What does the next stretch of energy look like around this bond? Here is the Ten of Swords, and the Four of Cups, and the Seven of Cups. Wow, this feels like a turning point. With the Ten of Swords, I feel an old pattern is ending. The pattern of saying nothing while suffering inwardly is reaching its limit. With the Four of Cups, I feel a pause of reflection, a moment where one or both of you looks honestly at what this became. And then with the Seven of Cups, I feel options begin opening, new paths, new perspectives, new emotional possibilities. So after a long time of feeling stuck or narrow, the energy starts widening around this connection. Let us clarify that Ten of Swords. And wow, here is the Fool. Beautiful. So yes, I feel this is release. This is freedom from an old loop of delay and concealment. The Fool tells me someone becomes willing to risk, to take a step without having perfect certainty first. And that feels very important here, because certainty is not what creates movement now. I think exhaustion creates movement. I think shame creates movement. I think longing for relief creates movement. Let us get a few more cards here for you. We have openness. For them, we have surrender. And for both of you, we have renewal. Wow, that is beautiful. And it makes sense. Your openness feels careful but present. Their surrender feels like giving up the old resistance. And this renewal energy feels like breath returning, like something soft waking up after being held down too long. So I do not feel the future energy is shut down. I feel it loosening, softening, becoming more responsive. Let us get more on the near future around confession. Here is the Page of Wands and the Eight of Wands. Wow, so yes, I do feel expression gathering here. Something may begin lightly at first, but there is much underneath it. The Page of Wands feels like a first spark. The Eight of Wands feels like momentum picking up after that. So for some of you, the first opening may be simple, but once the door opens, more could follow quickly. And I also feel this, whoever begins this may try to sound calm at first. Not because they are calm, but because they are worried about overwhelming you with too much at once, still beneath that first opening. I feel real emotion waiting just below the surface. The repeating message is very clear. Someone is getting close to speaking after a long internal battle. Not because they feel fearless, but because staying silent is affecting them too much now. And I keep hearing this as well. I cannot keep carrying this and pretending I am fine. That sentence feels like it is living inside them. And I feel it pressing harder by the day. So if you have felt a shift lately, if you have felt the energy moving toward honesty, I do not think you are imagining that. I feel the silence itself is losing its hold here. There's expression gathering underneath it, and I feel that expression wants daylight very soon. It feels like one honest opening could begin changing the entire atmosphere between you, because once truth starts moving where silence used to be, the heart often follows much more naturally after that, and I feel relief is part of this too. Not only sadness, not only guilt, but the need to finally stop hiding. They want to set something down. And I feel that weight has become unbearable. They need release now. All right, so let us go deeper into the heart space here, because I feel the emotional truth wants more room now for you. Here is vulnerability. Wow, so I feel part of this journey has been about allowing yourself to feel, not throwing yourself into uncertainty, but admitting this bond still lives somewhere inside you. I feel like some of you have tried to outthink your feelings or make yourself less affected than you really are, but your heart has its own intelligence, and it keeps telling you something here is unresolved. For them, here is awakening beautiful. This person is becoming more honest with themselves. They are starting to see that silence has not protected them. It has only delayed what their heart keeps trying to say. For both of you, here is this could be the one. Wow. So, yes, part of why this feels so heavy is because the bond did not feel small. It felt meaningful, and that made the emotional stakes rise. When a connection feels ordinary, people do not usually freeze like this. But when it feels rare, fear can get loud and messy. Let us look at what your heart would say if it spoke plainly, because I feel your soul has a message too. Here is I still care more than I show. Wow. Yes, that feels exactly right. You may have become quieter, you may have become more protective and much more inward, but I do not feel your feelings vanished. I feel they went private and became more closely guarded. For them, here is I hate what I did, and wow, yes, that fits this reading immediately. This person is not brushing this off. They are not looking back at it like it meant nothing. For both of you, here is I miss the way this felt. Wow. So there is living memory here too. Both hearts remember something real, something warm, something vivid, something hard to replace. Let us look at what advice is coming through now, because I feel Spirit wants to guide this very gently. Here is the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Cups. Wow, so the advice is not to close your heart in fear. With the Queen of Cups, I feel you are being asked to stay soft, not naive, not unguarded, but emotionally alive and wise. Do not let old hurt define every future moment. Do not let fear become the loudest voice in the room. And with the Ten of Cups, I feel Spirit is reminding you that happiness is still possible after confusion and delay. Sometimes love needs a second breath. Sometimes truth needs time before it can come out cleanly. Let us get one more message of guidance. Wow, here is there are infinite resources available to me. So I feel this is about not moving from lack, not assuming that one painful chapter means all hope is gone. You do not have to settle for silence forever. And you also do not have to lock down your softness. You can be wise and still receptive. You can protect yourself and still remain open to better things. All right, so let us see what this person would actually say if they stopped editing themselves for one moment. Here is I cannot stop thinking about you. Yes, that has been clear through the entire reading. You live in their mind more than they show. And I feel that has been true for a while now. Here is I regret everything. Wow, yes, that lands exactly in the center of this. This person keeps revisiting what happened. They keep thinking about what they should have said or done differently. Here is it is killing me to hide this from you. And wow, yes, that feels very direct and very real. This is not a comfortable silence for them. This is something they are carrying like a private ache. Here is I should have told you sooner. And I am ashamed of how long I waited. That feels honest because I feel time itself has become part of their regret. They know that every day they delayed, the truth became heavier instead of easier. Here is I do not know if you can forgive me, but I know I cannot keep pretending this is not there. So, yes, I feel they are deeply conflicted, but the conflict is beginning to tip toward honesty. Let us get a few more direct cards because I feel there is still more in their chest. Here is you did not deserve what happened, and I never stopped caring the way I tried to act like I had. Wow, that is powerful because it shows me they know your heart deserved better. And here is I want to fix this if I still can. So, yes, I do feel their mind is moving toward repair, not because they know the outcome. But because the burden of keeping it hidden has become too much, this whole part feels like someone nearing an emotional breaking point, not in a reckless way, but in a truth way. They are tired of carrying the mask. And I feel that tiredness is beginning to crack everything open. I keep hearing that they are rehearsing pieces of this in private, and every version still leads back to the same truth. They are sorry. And they do not want to hide it anymore. The weight is becoming louder than fear. Let us close this out by looking at the deepest current here because I feel the truth of this bond wants one more layer of clarity. When I sit with the energy of both of you together, I do not get indifference. I do not get finality. I get pressure. I get two people who have both felt the impact, and one of them has been especially consumed by self-blame. That is why the silence has felt so loaded. Because it is not empty silence, it is packed silence. It carries memory, it carries sorrow, it carries imagined confessions and delayed admissions. And I feel that is why your intuition has not let this go, because something in the bond has remained active the whole time. Let us get a final spread on the connection. Here is the Lovers and the Hermit. And the Ace of Swords, wow, with the Lovers, I feel there is still a live bond here. There is still significance here. There is still feeling here. With the Hermit, I feel both of you have withdrawn inwardly, thinking, searching, trying to understand your own truth first. And then with the Ace of Swords, I feel breakthrough. I feel clarity. I feel something finally becoming speakable. This does not feel like a bond meant to stay buried in confusion. It feels like something pushing toward honesty and release. Let us get more on that Ace of Swords. And wow, here is the Page of Swords and the Six of Cups. So yes, I feel watching, wondering, remembering. I feel this person looking back and also leaning towards you again. The Six of Cups tells me the feeling here is gentle at its core. There is fondness, there is familiarity, there is sweetness. This is not just unfinished pain. This is also unfinished tenderness. All right, so let us see the most likely next energy. Here is the Fool and the Page of Wands and the Two of Cups. Wow, this looks like an opening, a fresh move, a message, and real connection trying to reappear. The Fool tells me someone risks it. The Page of Wands tells me the first step may be simple, and the Two of Cups tells me that step matters because the feeling underneath it is mutual and emotionally alive. For some of you, this may begin with a light text, something ordinary on the surface, but meaningful underneath. But the emotional weight behind it will not be ordinary, and I feel both of you will know that immediately. Let us get final hidden messages for them. Here is I am sorry for all of it for you. Here is I needed honesty, not hiding. And for both of you, here is this is not over in my heart. Wow, that gathers the whole reading together. One heart burdened, one heart careful, both hearts still connected. So the advice here feels very gentle. Do not assume silence always means lack of care. Sometimes silence means regret. Sometimes it means fear. Sometimes it means too much feeling. But I also want to be clear about this. You do not have to chase truth from anyone. You do not have to carry the whole bridge. And I do not feel Spirit is asking you to. What I feel is that your job is to stay honest with yourself. Stay grounded, stay open, stay discerning. And if this person does come in, you will know very quickly how it feels in your body. You will know if it feels sincere. You will know if it feels half-hearted or avoidant. Trust that because I do feel your intuition is very awake here. And now let us get the final thing they would say. If they were standing in front of you right now, I am sorry for all of it. I keep replaying what happened and I hate the way I handled it. I have tried to bury this, but it has only gotten heavier inside me. It is eating at me, and I do not know how much longer I can keep it in. I should have come to you sooner. I should have been honest when it mattered most. I do not know if you will want to hear me, but I know I cannot keep pretending this does not live inside me. You mattered more than I showed, and I know my silence caused pain. I want to tell you the truth, not because I expect anything from you, but because hiding it is breaking me. And I feel like that is the truth here. Not polished, not dramatic, just deeply true. So yes, this person is regretting everything, and I do feel it is hurting them deeply to keep this from you. The energy feels sincere. It feels heavy. And it feels like the beginning of more honesty soon. Something wants to open here, something wants to be said here, something wants relief now. I also keep getting that they are not only grieving what happened, they are grieving the version of themselves that stayed silent. There is disappointment in them, not only about the past, but about who they became in that moment. And that self-disappointment is sharp. Because they know they acted smaller than what their heart actually felt. So the confession energy here feels like more than apology. It feels like a need to finally stand in front of their own truth. They want relief, and they want to stop carrying this alone. I do not get indifference. I do not get finality. I get pressure. I get two people who have both felt the impact, and one of them has been especially consumed by self-blame. That is why the silence has felt so loaded. Because it is not empty silence, it is packed silence. It carries memory, it carries sorrow, it carries imagined confessions and delayed admissions. And I feel that is why your intuition has not let this go, because something in the bond has remained active the whole time. Let us get a final spread on the connection. Here is the Lovers and the Hermit. And the Ace of Swords, wow, with the Lovers, I feel there is still a live bond here. There is still significance here. There is still feeling here. With the Hermit, I feel both of you have withdrawn inwardly, thinking, searching, trying to understand your own truth first. And then with the Ace of Swords, I feel breakthrough. I feel clarity. I feel something finally becoming speakable. This does not feel like a bond meant to stay buried in confusion. It feels like something pushing toward honesty and release. Let us get more on that Ace of Swords. And wow, here is the Page of Swords and the Six of Cups. So, yes, I feel watching, wondering, remembering. I feel this person looking back and also leaning towards you again. The Six of Cups tells me the feeling here is gentle at its core. There is fondness, there is familiarity, there is sweetness. This is not just unfinished pain. This is also unfinished tenderness. All right, so let us see the most likely next energy. Here is the Fool and the Page of Wands and the Two of Cups. Wow, this looks like an opening, a fresh move, a message, and real connection trying to reappear. The Fool tells me someone risks it. The Page of Wands tells me the first step may be simple, and the Two of Cups tells me that step matters because the feeling underneath it is mutual and emotionally alive. For some of you, this may begin with a light text, something ordinary on the surface, but meaningful underneath. But the emotional weight behind it will not be ordinary, and I feel both of you will know that immediately. Let us get final hidden messages for them. Here is I am sorry for all of it for you. Here is I needed honesty, not hiding. And for both of you, here is this is not over in my heart. Wow, that gathers the whole reading together. One heart burdened, one heart careful, both hearts still connected. So the advice here feels very gentle. Do not assume silence always means lack of care. Sometimes silence means regret. Sometimes it means fear. Sometimes it means too much feeling. But I also want to be clear about this. You do not have to chase truth from anyone. You do not have to carry the whole bridge. And I do not feel Spirit is asking you to. What I feel is that your job is to stay honest with yourself. Stay grounded, stay open, stay discerning. And if this person does come in, you will know very quickly how it feels in your body. You will know if it feels sincere. You will know if it feels half-hearted or avoidant. Trust that because I do feel your intuition is very awake here. And now let us get the final thing they would say if they were standing in front of you right now. I am sorry for all of it. I keep replaying what happened, and I hate the way I handled it. I have tried to bury this, but it has only gotten heavier inside me. It is eating at me, and I do not know how much longer I can keep it in. I should have come to you sooner. I should have been honest when it mattered most. I do not know if you will want to hear me, but I know I cannot keep pretending this does not live inside